It feels like every new PC game these days wants you to download 50, 80, even 100 gigs before you can play. But not everyone has blazing fast internet, unlimited data or tons of storage just sitting around. So guys, if you're someone who's tired of waiting hours or even days for a single game to finish downloading, this video is for you. In this video, I round out 25 incredibly awesome free PC games that all comes under just 2 gigs of download. That means they're quick to download, don't take much space, and you can jump into them almost immediately. Even better, most of these games are very lightweight enough that you can run them on any potato PC. Plus, every game on the list is completely free to play. You can simply go ahead and download all of them from Steam. Alright, starting off today's list, we got a brand new game called Echoes of A.W.O.L. This one is a super unique, gorgeous top-down action game where you don't even have to attack. Instead, you survive by perfectly timing your deflections to bounce off enemy shots right back at them, which can be really satisfying to pull off. The combat feels like a crazy high-stake game of dodgeball. It is totally free, single player, and the download size only comes at around 1.7 gigs. If you're a fan of soccer simulation games but hate huge 100 gigs of download and pay-to-win mechanics, you gotta try out this brand new game called Goals. Goals is a fast, skill-based soccer game where every player is totally unique. They grow, peak, and even retire over time, so you have to continuously refresh your squad. It's primarily a multiplayer-focused title, but the game does have mods for single player as well. It runs super smoothly on any potato PC, and it just comes at around 2 gigs of download. Number 3, we get one of my favorite games on the list today, and it is called The Deadline. So picture this, you're on a subway in a zombie apocalypse, and every stop you rush out to gain loot, blast zombies with crazy weapons, and rush back before the train leaves. It's a really fun, fast-paced zombie survival shooter that is totally free to play, single player, and believe it or not, it only takes 300 megabytes of download. Number 4, we got Frog Climb. This is a super fun platformer game where you play as a frog trying to escape this giant terrarium. But you don't just dump, you actually build your own path to the top using blocks and of course using a sticky tongue. You can play the game solo, no problem, but it's going to be much more fun if you can jump in with your friends in co-op. And all that fun is packed into this little 850 megabytes of download. At number 5, we got Rage Quit. It's a fun little arcade-style action game where you're stuck inside this creepy 90s-style office, and it's gonna be your last day on the job before they fire you. After a while, you get angry, and your only weapon is the sledgehammer. You just run around to the office, smashing walls, props, and beating up your robot co-workers. It's kinda like this ultimate stress reliever and only take you around half an hour to complete. Plus, the download size only comes at around 900 megabytes. And for my RPG fans and achievement hunters out there, we get kind of a hidden gem, and it is Vampires Fall 2. It's an old school style 2D dark fantasy game where you play as this newly turned vampire and you gotta forge your own destiny in a world shattered by brutal civil war between humans and vampires. It's a bit old style, got that classic turn-based style combat which is super satisfying once you get the hang of it. It's also got a pretty massive 2D open world map packed into this little 1.2 gigs of download, which is honestly a steal. Moving on to another brand new game that literally came out this month, and it is called Rewind. If you're someone who likes playing this detective puzzle style of games, this game will really test your brain. Story-wise, there is a film director who just found dead. You have to combine clues, read witness statements, and just figure out who's behind the murder. The game doesn't hold your hand on anything, so it can be a bit challenging, but once you solve the case, it feels super rewarding at the end. It is incredibly lightweight, just comes at around 500 megabytes of download, and it will run flawlessly on any potato PC you can find. Alright, moving on, number 8, we got World War Legion. This one is a World War II style fast-paced arcade first-person shooter with sliding, parkour, and tons of weapons and customization. Obviously, this game is come from the same developers as Combat Masters, and they built this game specifically to run great on low-end system, which is why this game alongside Combat Masters are one of the most popular free-to-play shooter games to play on potato PCs. It looks like a budget version of Call of Duty Vanguard with similar style of weapons, game mode, progression, the animations, everything, and the download size is just around 2 gigs. One of the most popular games on our list today is none other than Stumble Guys, and you've probably seen this around many times, especially if you're a fan of these casual style games. This game pits you against 31 other players in a hilarious, crazy obstacle course where everyone just falling all over each other. It's widely addictive and perfect game to play while chatting with your friends on a party night, and you get all that multiplayer chaos for just 1.7 gigs of download, plus it is totally free to play. At number 10, we got a game called The Name I Wear. This is easily one of the most creative puzzle games on our list today. In this game, you play as a spy, but instead of using weapons, you use identities, you interact with objects and spell out people's names, which magically let you become them and solve the mystery. It looks amazing and completely unique and comes with a very comfortable 1.4 gigs of download. If you're someone who enjoys chill puzzle games, this is a brand new game that very recently came out and also very underrated at the moment. It is called All Lane Must Exit. So in this game, your job is to design highway interchanges that connect all roads without causing massive traffic jams or going over the budget. It sounds very simple, but it gets super tricky and satisfying as you complete more and more levels, and I believe there are more than 50 levels in the game. Plus the whole game is like super microscopic, like 100 megabytes, so it literally takes just seconds to download. At number 12, we got a bit of an older game on Steam, and it is called FPS Chess. This game is pure genius. You play a normal game of chess, but whenever you try to capture a piece, it doesn't work like normal chess. You get dropped into a 1v1 first-person shooter arena to fight for it. A pawn with a shotgun can take out a queen with a sniper rifle if your aim is good enough. It is unique, hilarious, and extremely fun to play with friends, and only comes at around just 600 megabytes, so download and try it out yourself. ORUN is a really cool free-to-play top-down hack-and-slash roguelite where you play as this scout trying to save a ruined desert city from a swarm of monsters and golems. This one is actually a student-made project, which is super impressive as it turns. You got a simple art style, fast-paced combat, and some tough boss fights along the way. It won't take a long time to complete, maybe 30 minutes to an hour. Definitely a cool little adventure game to try out, and the download size is right now just around 550 megabytes. If you want a massive 32-player tactical first-person shooter that actually runs decently on a low-end system, next up we got POLYGON. It plays a lot like Battlefield without that crazy destructions, vehicles, or insane gameplay mechanics. This is very simple Polygon-like art style, simple weapons, decent loadouts, customization, and handful of fun maps to play around with. It got a simple low-poly art style, so it doesn't melt your graphic card. It's a bit of an older game at this point, pretty underrated, but no doubt one of the coolest free-to-play shooter games you can play under 2 gigs. At number 15, we got WOBBLY HEIST. It's a 3D stealth puzzle game where you play as a 3 capybaras stacked on top of each other inside a trench coat that trying to look like a human. You have to sneak into a high-end fashion event, avoid humans, split up to solve puzzles, and steal a legendary jewel without blowing your cover. It's a fun little single-player game that won't take a long time to complete and sits perfectly around 850 megabytes of download. If you're looking for a fun Mario Kart style free racing game for your PC, Nitro Battle Racing is an awesome game to pick up on Steam. It's a fast-paced arcade racing game with crazy tracks, drifting, and tons of random power-ups to blast your friends off the map. It even supports 4-player local split-screen co-op, make it a perfect game for a co-op party night with your friends. Plus it comes at around very reasonable 1.3 gigs of download. Alright, for the fans of classic action RPG games like Diablo, you gotta try this free game called Eternium. In this game, you hack and slash through skeletons and demons, level up, collect tons of loot. There are different hero classes that get access to about 20 different abilities, but the coolest feature by far is the magic system, where you can actually draw symbols with your mouse and cast devastating spells. The game runs incredibly smoothly, even on the lowest PCs with Intel HD graphics, plus the download size only comes at around 500 megabytes. Alright, moving on to a brand new online multiplayer game that just dropped on Steam called Mesozoic Dawn. It's an online dinosaur survival game where you start as a tiny vulnerable baby dino, then you learn how to hunt, hide and scavenge to grow up. You can eventually build nests and raise AI offsprings and fight to become the apex predator on the server. It's such a cool concept, something we haven't really seen before on the free-to-play market, plus everything is packed into this little 1.2 gigs of download. At number 19, we got Super Animal Royale. It's a free-to-play 64-player top-down style battle royale game, but instead of soldiers, you play as this little adorable animal armed to the teeth with machine guns and katanas. Obviously, it plays on this 2D top-down perspective, which makes it incredibly fast and chaotic. There are a good amount of customization, very easy to jump in, easy to learn, and the download size is only around 1.1 GB. Coming at number 20, we got Skillshot City. This game feels like a classic top-down GTA 2 mixed with a battle royale. You run around the city, loot weapons, shoot other players, and draft crazy skill combos as you level up. But the coolest part is even if you die, you can turn into a zombie and can keep playing and try to earn a revive. It's kind of an underrated hidden gem on Steam at the moment, and it's non-stop action and comes with a very reasonable just 500 MB of download. If you ever wanted to play a Super Smash Bros. Style of a game without a Nintendo console, next up we got the ever popular Brawlhalla. It's a super popular, super fast, free-to-play 2D platformer fighter with a massive roster of characters. You can jump in for some casuals here and there, or you can get super competitive in the rank mode. Best of it all, it features full crossplay between console, PC and mobile, makes it a very easy game to jump in with your friends on a casual Sunday, and it only comes at around 1.3 gigs of download. If you're looking for a really cool single-player tactical RPG with a deep sci-fi story, next up we got Saturn. Story-wise, a mysterious signal is making machines rebel against the humanity, and you have to remote control robots on the moon of Saturn to stop the apocalypse. It got a great story and choices that actually matter throughout your playthrough, plus it got a very addictive tactical style combat. It's incredibly polished for a free-to-play game and only take about 1.3 gigs of download. And if you're a fan of that classic 90s style first-person shooters like Duke Nukem 3D, you can absolutely love this game, and it is called A.W.O.L. It's a retro-style military first-person shooter where you lead a squad of AI teammates into these intense tactical missions. It gives you that nostalgic pixel art action but with a surprisingly smart AI that take cover, ambush, or do whatever you command them to do. It also got very basic system requirements, runs very well on a low-end PC. It's an absolute blast to play and only comes at around 250 MB of download. Number 24, we got Snake Force. Okay, this game is pure comedy. It's a top-down shooter, but every time you rescue a quote-unquote bro on the map, they fall in line behind you like a classic Snake game on an old Nokia phone, and whenever you pull the trigger, the entire Snake line bros shoot too. It gets chaotic, loud, and incredibly funny, and also can be somewhat challenging. It's totally free to play, right now sitting on overwhelmingly positive reviews, and the download size is very small, only around 200 MB. And finally, we got one of the most popular games on the list today, and it is Goose Goose Duck. It's the ultimate game to ruin friendships. It looks like Among Us, it plays like Among Us, but in this game you are a flock of geese trying to figure out who is the evil duck. The best part of the game is by far the built-in proximity voice chat, so hearing someone scream as they're taken out in the next room is the funniest thing ever. It's perfect game to jump in with your friends on a party night, totally free to play on Steam, and also support crossplay with the mobile devices as well. The download size is very small, only around 800 MB. These are my pick on 25 awesome free PC games that all comes under just 2 gigs of download, and I'm hoping you found your new favorite today that won't melt your PC or take an entire week to download. So let me know down in the comment section which games you are installing first. And if you discovered something fun to play, be sure to drop a like on the video and hit that subscribe button for more awesome low-end games, free-to-play game coverage like this. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.